Annyeonghaseyo, guys. It's Weds, and we have patch 1.310 live in the First Descendant. So I've seen a lot of comments where people say that they didn't see any change. So first thing you got to do, whether you are on PlayStation 5 or Xbox, just press and hold your view button on your controller, and you should check on the top right of your screen and you can see whether or not the patch is there. So you just saw it for PlayStation, it's 1.310 is there. So on Xbox, it is the same thing. You can see that it is up there, patch 1.310. So that's how you check before you go and play the game, and you make sure that you get the update. But before we go to the update, I have to tell you, in my opinion, I noticed a change in the Supermassive Receptor mission, and it was a lot easier in the party settings where you have 4 people playing it. So it didn't take as much time it used to take. So before, it used to take around 15 minutes with a full party, but for now it takes about 8 minutes. So, you know, it depends on the group. It's going to be different on the time that you completed. So I can notice the difference. Now, I did not check the solo versions, as that was not an issue in my opinion. I think anybody already knew that when you do it solo, it was a lot faster and a lot easier for a lot of people. All right, this is patch 1.3.10. Like I said, I'm not going to spend too much time on it, so we're just going to go over the major key points, and we'll take it from there. So first, they talk about the content improvements and the infiltration operation Supermassive Receptor, which is the biggest deal out of the patch, because that's what a lot of people were fighting over, whether or not they should adjust it. So it says overall monster HP has been adjusted according to squad size during 2 to 4 player public operation to ease combat difficulty. They also added acquisition sources for Ancestors module loot, and it has a small chance to be acquired when defeating commanders in the Axion Plains, Void Vessel, Medium-Sized Facility Zone, and Supermassive Receptor. Now, for people that were having issues getting the new modules, the Ancestors module, so they added more places where you can farm for them. But as you can see, a chance, they say, so when you grind those locations, so you should have a chance to get the Ancestors module. Now, the director comments, we are not going to spend too much time on that. Also, they added acquisition sources for the ultimate weapon, Shadow and Deus Ex. So they talking about the 2 swords from the Void Vessel mission. So they wanted to increase the location where you can farm the crafting materials. So first of all, the ultra fine particle alloy is going to be in Axion Plains. When you complete it, you'll get 2. Now, just make sure you take note of that when you doing the Sigma sector. Just make sure you do the right mission, because there's 2 different ones. And if you do the broken boundary one on hard difficulty, then you are going to get your 3. And then for the other material, the Photon Quantum Crystal on the Axion Plains, when you complete it, you get 2. And the Sigma sector, again, make sure you check the mission. So you got to do the Isolated Desert on high difficulty, and you will get 3. So if you do those missions respectively, then you will get this amount of materials. They are not very high. It's not a big increase, but at least it is something. That way you don't spend all your time in Void Vessel, then you can go and do it here. Now, and then they continue to say that they added acquisition sources for the Descendant Harris. So basically for Harris, for the crafting material, the Riffling Organic Matter, they add some more locations. So in Axion Plains, when you defeat a commander, you can get 2. On Void Vessel, the medium-sized facility one, when you defeat the commander, you'll get 2. And in the medium-sized facility zone and hard difficulty, you get 4. So normal 2, hard, you get 4. So that is that. And then they make some adjustment to Harris. Some function of the crushing focus skill available when the modification module focus supervision time is equipped have been changed. So they make some changes, and you can read this stuff here. And yeah, now here's one of the biggest point of contention with the patch. It is about the swords. they nerf the sprint speed. So basically, they figured it was too fast when people were using swords, and they nerf both of them. So you can read the numbers right here. So it goes from 1040 to 800. Basically, the logic is that they don't want any other descendant to be able to be as fast as Bunny. So they had to adjust it because they feel like the other descendants, if they use these swords, they'll be able to match Bunny. So they want Bunny to keep her identity as far as being the fastest descendant in the game. So that's why they adjusted. So that's what all this is talking about. But for that reason, because they feel like a lot of people are going to be mad about that, so they give you some compensation. So as you can see right here, you get crystallization catalyst, some gold boost, and some Kuiper, yada, yada, yada. So they compensate you for the inconvenience. So just take it for what it is. And yeah. Now for miscellaneous, they talk about the frame rate, because a lot of people were having issues, including us on console. And yeah, I noticed a little difference, but there's still some lag going on. I play on both PS5 and Xbox, and I can still see there's still some lag going on. But anyway, we'll see. Hopefully things get fixed fully, not just partially. So other than that, majority of the rest of the patch is going to be some bug fixes. So they are right here. Again, like always, guys, link will be in the description for you, so you can just read if you want. That way we don't have to spend too much time on here. So they fix a lot of things and adjust a lot of things. And yeah, so that is the patch. Now let's talk about what players are thinking and what they thought about the patch, and then we'll end it on that. Now, there are a lot of conversation going on Reddit, so we pick this one right here, but there are more conversations. So let's see this one right here from this user. So they summarize the key points, like we were just talking about, the mission, the swords, and also hairs, etc. And you can see people say, yeah, for materials, okay. And then you can see people are talking about the HP for the mission. And this person say the solo gameplay was not a problem. I stopped playing in groups and started playing solo because my completion time was 2 times or even 3 times faster. And we got some people that are still asking if it come out yet. They haven't noticed anything. So it's probably because they haven't updated their game or whatnot, so we don't know. And you can see this user said, I just tried Flores in pubs. He's talking about the boss from the mission. And well, the nerf is significant. Like I said, I noticed the difference. So yeah. And you got another player that say, in my experience, it wasn't significant at all. Feels almost like before. I can disagree with that because I noticed a big difference, at least, in my gameplay. So I wonder if this player have updated their game. But anyway, you never know. Everybody have different opinions. But I personally can see the difference. Doesn't mean everybody will see the same thing. And then in reference to the Ancestors module, this user said, well, now there's a reason to go back to Axion Plains. So anyway, then again, this person say, did 10 missions real quick to see what the drop rates were and didn't get a single one. Be prepared to grind if you were planning on using those Plains missions to get Ancestors mods. Anyway, again, there are a lot of discussion going on Reddit, and I will leave a link in the description if you want to read the comments. So let's move on to X and see what they are saying over there. All right, this is the patch on X, Twitter. So as you can see, they have it right there. I'm just going to scroll through it because you already know what's going on. So we can go to the comment to see what people are saying. All right, this person say, the first one, Supermassive Receptor weekly bonus hasn't reset. I've updated my game and logged off and backed in. All right, let's look at this one. This person says sprint speed changes to swords. And somebody say, thanks for fixing the Colossus guided mission, but the fragment on the plans isn't working because I picked up a piece before the mission was activated. And somebody made a joke, say, fix an issue where players were having fun, and we can't have that. Anyway, and then this player said that Bunny having 600 speed is extremely toxic, especially in 400% because she outslays every other mobber in the game. Other descendants need to match her speed so the game can feel healthy. Capping sword speed isn't logical even if Haley's speed wasn't intended. Alright, this person does not agree with the sword speed nerf, so yeah. And this person said, so make the swords worse, say less. LMFO, you know what that means. Anyway, alright. Alright, this person say nerf a Harry, but they call it fixing her. I'm not sure what it is, but I think he's trying to say they nerf Harris, it's a bug, and they call it fixing her. Anyway, yeah, I think that's what this person is trying to say. Anyway, and we are going to read the last comment. This person said, dear devs, please stop nerfing the content. Instead, provide gear requirements for endgame content, like 40 arcade tuning or unlike trigger mod. A lot of people join without any mods, then complain that the game is too hard. Alright, so we're gonna leave it here, but I think what he's trying to say is, yeah, there are other ways to fix the game. Just don't listen to people crying because they're not doing the right thing, they're not bringing the right build, and then they complain that the game is hard. So I think that's summarize what this user is saying. Anyway, so we're gonna leave it here. So let me know what you think in the comment section. I personally think there was a difference I noticed when I played a mission when it comes to the boss's health. So let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.